Hi everyone. For the given functions, this is part 2 of what we did before. We're going to find A, f of g of 4, and B, we're going to find g of f of 2, and C, we're going to find f of 1, and D, we're going to find g of 0. We're going to do 3 problems here. The first one we're going to do is this one, f of x equals 2x squared, and g of x equals 1 minus 3x squared. So this would be number 1. And we're going to find all of these, okay? You might want to write these down, although I will write them down again on the slides. So for the first one, we're going to do A and find f of g of 4, which we're going to rewrite as f g of 4. We're going to take care of the inner function first. And so we have f of 1 minus 3, you input 4, squared, and that's going to equal f of negative 47. And then we're going to do the outer function. This is your outer function, and find f of negative 47, and that's going to be 2 times negative 47 squared, which equals 4,418. Now the second one we have to find is g of f of 2. So now my inner function is f. So that's going to be g of 2 times 2 squared, which equals g of 8. G of 8, this is going to be equal to 1 minus 3 times 8 squared, which equals 1 minus 192, which equals negative 191. And the third one is f of 1. So that's going to be f of 1. And you just plug it in twice, basically. So this is going to be f of 2 times 1 squared, which equals f of 2. And then you just plug it in again, so you get 2 times 2 squared. That equals 8. And the last one is g of 0. So we have g of 0 this way, which equals g of 1 minus 3 times 0 and square, which equals g of 1, which equals 1 minus 3 times 1 squared, which is 1 minus 3, which equals negative 2. Now the next set we're going to do is this one. We have f, so this is number 2, f of x equals the square root of x, and g of x equals 2x. And we want to first do A, which is find f of g of 4. So this is going to equal f g of 4, which equals f. You do your inner function first, and that's going to be f of 8. F of 8 is the square root of 8, which equals 2 square root of 2. Okay, and B, we're going to do G, I don't know if I can get all this on here, F, G of F of 2, so that's going to be equal to G F of 2, which equals G of square root of 2, and G, so that's going to equal 2 square root of 2. The third one is F of F of 1, which equals F of 1, which equals F the square root of 1, which is just 1. So we get F of 1, which equals the square root of 1, which equals 1. And the last one, we have D, which is G of 0, which equals G of 0, which equals G of G times 0, which equals G of 0, which equals 2 times 0, which equals 0. Okay, and the last one we're going to do is F of X equals the square root of X plus 1, and G of X equals 3X. Do this again, and we have F of G. What I'm going to do, since it's the last one, I'm going to save some time and just write this as F G of 4, which equals F of 3 times 4, which equals F of 12, which equals square root of 12 plus 1, which equals the square root of 13. And B, we're going to do G of F of 2, which equals G of square root of 2 plus 1, which equals G of square root of 3, which equals 3 square root of 3. And C is F of F, whoops, let me just rewrite it, F of 1, which equals F of square root of 1 plus 1, which equals F square root of 2, which equals square root of the square root of 2 plus 1. And the last one, we have G of 0, which equals G of 3 times 0, which equals G of 0, which equals 3 times 0 again, which equals 0. Okay, that's all of part 2. The next set is part 3, which is a little harder, but it's not too bad. It has some fractions in it. All right, thank you and have a nice day. Bye-bye.